Welcome back, my luxurious fleet. We have tons of stuff to go over, including all of Lexus and Toyota sales from the previous year, and of course, maybe the December to remember. Tesla is overcoming all the other luxury automakers, and that is a big deal. We need to talk about that. And last but not least, for my Lexus sport fans out there, the IS could be getting a complete redesign soon. We'll hit on those rumors here in a sec. I'll see you on the other side, and let's get into it. Okay, so the very first thing I want to go over with you guys is the total sales summary for Lexus. Now, of course, you're going to see Toyota in here as well, and there's so much information. We could spend a week deciphering this information, but I want to go over some of the most pertinent things. The first thing I'm going to go over, total Toyota car division is down 12%. So we've been talking lately on my channel about how sedans they're just dying. Now, 12% probably isn't that bad compared to a lot of the other automakers, because let's face it, the Camry and the Corolla here, if you look at sales volumes, it's huge, absolutely huge. So they're still selling a crap ton of vehicles even though they're down. Let's move on to the main show. Total Lexus cars down 11% on the year. So a lot of interesting information here. Let's just get into it. CT doesn't matter. IS down 13%, not good, as we were kind of expecting. RC, this one's kind of eye-opener for me. Man, no one's buying coupes at all. So if we skip down to the LC down here, down 21% or 20%, however you want to look at it, not good either way. The LS, for some reason, sold more than double the amount of cars it did last year. And I think a big part of that is that they overproduced their first year. So we had a lot of 2018 stock, and we still have some 2018s on our lot. So they're just dropping prices on them. Lexus has had really, really strong incentives from the manufacturer this year. And I think that helped move a lot of units for the LS 500. The GS is dying, down 15%. If you haven't seen my video, I'll put it somewhere up here for you guys to click. It's kind of a sad review of the 2019 GS, just because it doesn't look like it's going to have a future in 2021. Maybe they might do a 2020, but check out that video. But yeah, the RC is not doing well, down over half the sales of last year. And then let's just get into the ES right now. The ES should have had a positive year, but they're still down 6%. Why should have had a positive year? Well, the 2019 redesign came out in about September or so. That still didn't save the car from negative returns. So if we look at December, it had a better December this year than it did last year, which it should, right? You were at the very end of the previous generation's life cycle, and now we're at the very beginning of the new generation's life cycle. So it should have been like 50% higher, if not more. So instead, we see a less than 7% increase in sales from 2018 December and 2017 December. That is not a victory, in my opinion. It's down 6% on the year. And the the cars for Lexus are down over 11% on the year. Lexus trucks right here. So a lot of information here. Overall, pretty good. If you look here, they sell a crap ton of SUVs and crossovers. You can see it's up 2%. That is a win. That is a big win. And if you look at the total Toyota truck, including Lexus and Toyota, it's up about 7-8%. So they're selling a shit. It's a good year. 2018 was a good year for all trucks, I think, in the entire automotive industry. So Lexus and Toyota are no exception. But let's just dig into these vehicles here. So UX just came out. We're not going to talk about that. NX up 4%, up 18% from December to December. It's kind of weird. It's not. We had okay incentives on it, so it wasn't like mind blowing or anything like that. RX is still growing. They're selling over 100,000 vehicles 111,000 vehicles this year, and they still sold. And they were down. If you look here, they were down in December. If you look at December and December from 17, 18, they were down 5%. But you look at the total volume from this year to last year, they're still up 2 to 3%. Good job, RX. GX is hanging on. -2 is not bad, right? -2 is almost a win if you look at the sedans here. So we're selling a lot of GXs, possibly one of the best years we've ever had for the GX. So in certain climates and areas, the GX is selling really, really well. LX is taking a big dump. I don't know 100% why. I know at the end of the year. So if you look at this, a big part of this was the recall, the airbag recall or the seatbelt recall that doesn't deploy the airbags. That's a big reason why 71% down for December, because that recall came out, I believe, in December, early December. So that just kind of killed the LX sales. So overall, for the SUVs, Lexus was up 2%. You can see some hybrid numbers. Hybrids are selling well for Lexus anyways. If you look at here, the NX hybrid sold about almost 3 times more than it did last year. They must have really, really cut the prices for on the 18s and 19s compared to, you know, the previous year. So that could be a big reason. And the RX hybrid did really, really well, almost double. So hybrids are getting better. Lexus is pricing them better. That's a big reason. So if the price is comparable and you still get all-wheel drive and you get more power, and, well, for the RX, and you get a lot better fuel economy, then sales are going to really improve. We got to move on to the next article. Tesla is now America's #1 premium automotive company, outselling BMW and Lexus in Q4. This is not good news for any of the traditional powerhouses in the luxury automotive industry. In 2018, Tesla delivered more than 245,000 vehicles. 145,000 of those are Model 3, and then you can see the combination of the Model S and X are about 100,000. Toyota, Lexus, almost all the sedans in the automotive industry are dying, right? Not the Model 3. The Model 3 is killing it. Tesla sells 33% more cars in USA in Q4 2018 than all of in 2017. Think about that for a second. So let's just look at these numbers from Tesla. If you look at this Q4 here, look at that. They sold 90,000 vehicles in Q4. That's a crap ton. Looking at these numbers here, Model S is down in sales. Model X is down in sales, but that doesn't matter because the Model 3 is down in is up over 3,000% in sales. 3,000% in sales from Q4 17 to Q4 18, up 33,000%. They're doing something right, and I think it's only going to get worse for everyone else other than Tesla, because they're going to start making the unicorn $35,000 Model 3 soon, probably within the next year. And then as long as they can keep up production, they're going to keep selling them. Watch out, automotive industry. Things are about ready to get turned upside down from the look of it, right? I don't want to be all gloom and doom for, you know, my luxurious fleet out there, but there's some storm clouds coming. Actually, they're here, and Lexus has to figure out something to do, and all the automotive powerhouses need to figure out what to do about this. With this type of growth, it's not going to go away anytime soon. Their cars are only going to get better. Their quality control is going to get better. Their manufacturing processes are going to get better. So it's really, really exciting to see, because it's going to force everybody to do something different. It's going to force them to make electric vehicles, because these electric vehicles, the Model 3 in particular, is stealing their sedan sales. So let's keep moving. I'll see you guys in the comments below on Tesla. So the new ISF is rumored Well, we need to have a new IS first. So the standard model is reportedly going to get a new 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. That's really exciting. It sounds like they're finally going to ditch the 3.5 liter V6, which there's nothing wrong with that engine. It is indestructible. It's just exciting to see new engines from Toyota and Lexus because they don't do it that often. According to a rumor from Japan site Spider7, and I clicked that link, and it is, even Google Translate didn't help me out on that one. It's so Japanese. Next generation of Lexus IS will reportedly revive the range top for performance-focused F model. It'll reportedly pack a 3.5 liter twin-turbo V6 making 416 horsepower and a 10-speed automatic, just like the drivetrain currently available in the LS, but in a smaller, lighter vehicle. Great, perfect, nothing wrong with that. That all sounds good. I've all made those guesses earlier in some of my videos. It will ride on the rear drive variant of the new modular TNGA, and it'll be a little larger than the current one, which is great because if they kill the GS, the IS is still too small for a lot of people. They'll make the IS a little bit bigger, probably not quite as big as the ES, and that's okay, but this is going to be the sports sedan, the one sports sedan that's going to kind of fill the place of the GS and IS. I think it's just going to be called the IS, but it's going to be kind of a cross between the two. So buyers will be able to get the new 2.4 liter turbocharged engine making 318 horsepower. That's crazy. That's crazy because the 3.5 liter V6 right now makes 311 horsepower, and this 2.4 liter, over a liter smaller, 2 less cylinders, is going to be making more power, and I'm sure it's going to have a hell of a lot more torque than that V6. You also are going to have a hybrid version, which I think they'll actually bring it to America this time. Hybrid ISs have been around, I believe, in Europe for a while. We haven't had a hybrid IS in America, to my knowledge. So we'll have a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder with hybrid assistance, making a total of 183 horsepower. So to me, this looks like the engine, I could be wrong, but it looks like the engine configuration in the RAV4 hybrid, something like that, or similar to the one that's also in the NX300H hybrid. So they say look for the new IS to debut in the second half of 2020 and be on sale for the 2021 model year. ISF would arrive a year later. I hope this happens, right? IS sales, if we go back to that article, IS sales are down here. What did we say earlier? 13%. They need a revival, and the GS sales are down 15%. That can't continue, right? That can't continue. Something needs to happen. So my guess: kill the GS, make the IS bigger and more powerful, and voila, that solves your issue. It solves the issue of also not spending too much money on revitalizing two different sedans that aren't doing well. I think everyone's going to be happy. Yeah, there's going to be longtime GS fans. I know it sucks that GS could be dying, could be axed. A lot of people who love the styling of the IS don't buy it because it's not big enough. So I think it's going to be a happy medium for most people. The ES will still be there for kind of your more relaxing, calming, super smooth, buttery, Lexus smooth ride. And the IS is going to be the sports sedan that takes over from the previous IS and the outgoing GS. So a lot of news, guys, today. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to discuss all this information down below in the comments. And until next time, peace.